Park.
They struck him out, and the Red Sox win. Welcome to Fenway Park for the rubber game of the three-game series between the Colorado Rockies and the Boston Red Sox. Hi again, everybody. I'm Don Orsillo. Welcome to Red Sox baseball. The Red Sox trying to get back to their winning ways tonight. They deal with a left-hander in Jeff Francis, who's pitched very well lately for the Colorado Rockies. The Red Sox trying to get this offense going, but it's going to be tough. Over the next 10 games, they face some very good pitching. It starts tonight with Francis, who in his last 6 starts is 4-1 with a 2.05 earned run average. Then the Giants, Braves, and San Diego Padres, 3 Cy Young Award winners. Barry Zito in 2002, of course, the 4 straight for Maddox, and John Smoltz, the Cy Young Award winner in 1996. He's already faced the Red Sox this season and had 7 innings without giving up any runs. And then at the end, against the Padres, they got to face Peavy, who's got a 1.82 ERA, leads the majors. So it's not going to be an easy road for the Red Sox. We welcome in Jerry Remy. And Jerry, another night, another leadoff hitter for the Red Sox.
Well, it seems like the biggest story on this homestand is going to be who's going to be the leadoff hitter for the Boston Red Sox. And, of course, we thought Dustin Pedroia was going to be in that spot for a while, but it's changed every single day since we've been home. And a major surprise coming into the clubhouse today to see J.D. Drew in that spot. Now, Terry Francona explained it. The J.D.'s not hitting for power right now. He's not driving in runs. He does take a walk. He does see a lot of pitches, so get him and Pedroia at the top of the lineup. But I think the biggest reason for the move is also to get Kevin Youkilis back behind David Ortiz and Manny Ramirez. They need somebody behind Manny that's hitting the ball well, and certainly Kevin Youkilis has done that all season long. So we've seen all kind of combinations of what Terry's doing right now, and he doesn't like to do this. He likes a stable lineup, but the fact that he's trying to shake things up a little bit offensively to try to score some runs, that has been the biggest problem for the Red Sox over the last week.
Well, tonight, Josh Beckett looks to make it 10-0 on the season.
A perfect 10, stop to check 'em out. A perfect 10, to leave them any doubt. You know you're on your way, you can feel it in your bones.
The New England Dodge dealers, the United States Marines, Rico, and by New England Toyota dealers. And welcome to Fenway Park. Cool temperatures again tonight with cloudy skies above and the wind blowing in again tonight as the Red Sox and the Rockies wrap up this 3-game series. Let's check out the starting 9 for the Rockies. The lineup is brought to you by Rico. Willie Taveras back at the top of the order tonight, though he is the DH with Kaz Matsui at second base. Matt Holliday in left field. Todd Helton at first base. Garrett Adkins at third base. Brad Hopp with a big 3-run home run last night in right. Ryan Spilbords in center field. Gurvit Turrielba does the catching, batting 8th, and Troy Tulowitzki is at shortstop as he bats 9th. The pitcher is brought to you by Panasonic, and on the mound tonight for the Red Sox is Josh Beckett.
Well, Josh Beckett trying to join John Lackey as 10-game winners in the American League. Of course, Beckett 9-0, the 2.88 ERA, that's 6th best in the league. And the .211 batting average is 2nd best in the American League. Of course, last time out, the winner in Arizona, Red Sox got a lot of runs, 10 runs in that ball game. But Beckett giving up only 2 earned runs against the Diamondbacks. In his career against the Colorado Rockies in 5 starts, he is a perfect 4-0 with a 2.81 ERA. The Red Sox defense is brought to you by your Boston area Lexus dealers. They are 12th in the league with 45 errors in 64 games. Mike Lowell will be at third base. Julio Lugo, the shortstop. Dustin Pedroia in second. And Kevin Youkilis at first. Left to right, Manny Ramirez, Coco Crisp, and J.D. Drew. And Jason Varitek doing the catching for Beckett.
Umpiring crew, James Hoy is at plate tonight. Mark Wegner at first base. Bruce Fremming at second base. And Mike Winters is the umpire at third. Where available, this telecast can be heard in Spanish by selecting the SAP button on your television remote. Enjoy the game.
Buenas noches, amigos.
Boy, it does not feel like mid-June, and it really hasn't during this entire series against the Rockies.
Now, this is what, the 3rd straight night of similar conditions. Cloudy with the breeze blowing straight in toward home plate. Whatever's on the coast, please leave.
Now, last night it was 21 miles per hour from center. Tonight 13, so not as hard, but still Coming in on this chilly night from Fenway, Willie Taveras ready to stand in. The Rockies trying to get back to the 500 mark. They're 32-33 coming into tonight's action. As the first pitch of this one from Josh Beckett misses for ball one.
And again with Taveras at the plate, Lowell in very close to third base. Youkilis about even with the bag at first.
And there for strike one, and it's 1-1. 94 that time from Beckett. Well, the last major league pitcher to start a season 9-0 or better in a season was Jose Contreras, who started 9-0. In his first 15 starts in 2006. As Taveras with a swing and a miss is down 1-2. Beckett, the sixth pitcher to win at least his first 9 decisions in a season. Red Sox pitcher, that is. Chris Clemens won his first 14 back in 1986. Framed by Veritek, but it's ball 2-2-2.
I think one of the impressive things about the last outing for Beckett, the fact that even though he had a lot of runs to work with, he never changed his game plan. He stayed with all of his pitches, his fastball, his curveball, his changeup.
Taveras pops it up short right field as Drew coming in, and JD will get there for the first out.
Reading some comments today from some of the Colorado players who had faced Beckett in the National League, and they were talking about pitching at their ballpark, the home ballpark, which of course the ball travels very well. And a lot of those guys said that, you know, some visiting pitchers come in here and are afraid to throw their breaking stuff because they don't feel it breaks as well with the light air. Said Beckett was never the case. He always came in throwing that good fastball and curveball.
Well, he has the first out here in the first inning. Here's Kaz Matsui at 315 with a home run and 15 runs batted in. Matsui after the first pitch down the right field line. JD Drew towards the seats. And that'll get back into the crowd beyond Canvas Alley.
Most of these players have at least a couple of at-bats against Beckett in their career. Matsui 2 for 8 against him. Spilborghs and Tulowitzki, the shortstop, the only two guys that have not faced him.
Well, the Rocks are 3-2 on the scheduled 6-game road trip as they started it against the Orioles, taking 2 out of 3 at Camden Yards in Baltimore. Now 1-1 in this series against the Red Sox for Clint Hurdle. And they begin the night 5.5 games back of the Padres. Angels, who are atop the National League West at the moment. Did he go? No. So it's third base umpire Mike Winters, and it's 2-1.
Did I hear you say just before the game that Eddie Murray was fired as the hitting coach of the Dodgers?
And the interim hitting coach now for the Dodgers, his old friend Bill Miller, who's going to take over. He was operating as the assistant general manager out there in Los Angeles after retiring, another knee surgery during the offseason. And Bill Miller's back in uniform again, but as the interim hitting coach for the Dodgers.
A two-seam fastball that time from Beckett, down and away from Matsui.
A 2-2 pitch. Up and away again. Yeah, it's a full count.
That's 2 curveballs that Beckett has thrown. Both look like they have slipped out of his hand on this cool evening here at Fenway. And immediately after this, he asked for a different baseball, maybe one with better seams on it.
Matt Holliday waiting on deck. 1 down, base is empty. There's this one chopped foul. Tripped up, foul, backing out of play, and we'll do it again with the count of 3-2 as Matsui fouls off another.
A pretty good battle put on here by Matsui. He's hit in 9 of his last 10 games at a .349 clip. Doesn't walk very much, only 5 walks and 17 strikeouts on the season.
So it's safely in 9 of his last 10 games. And a couple of hits here last night, going 2 for 5. Broken bat pop up into shallow center. Wynn's going to knock it down, and it's going to fall as Crisp leaps over Pedroia, and into second goes Matsui. And just a flare out there on a broken bat to center field, and Pedroia ends up underneath Crisp, and Matsui ends up at second base.
Now that's excellent hustle too by Matsui. You know, he had to be running hard right out of the box to be able to turn that into a double. There's no way Coco could have got to it from where he is because of the wind blowing in. So Pedroia's got the only chance. He dives, can't make the play. Coco right above him, and then Matsui on the second base when he sees that.
So a long at bat for Matsui. Ends up standing at second base with 1 away. And it brings up Matt Holliday. Holliday starting the night, hitting at .352, 10 homers and 47 runs batted in. Still the league leader in the National League at .352. As he takes strike 1. The key matchup is brought to you by Killian's against Josh Beckett. 4 for 11, a triple and an RBI. The Yankees already winning today as they play day baseball at Yankee Stadium, beating Arizona today 7-1. So the Red Sox begin the night with an 8-game lead over the Yankees, but the Yankees now with 9 straight victories.
Watched some of that game today. Andy Pettitte pitching very well for the Yankees against Arizona. Got to keep your eye on Matsui at second base. He has 11 steals on the season.
Swing and a miss, and it's 1-2.
That's the best curveball that Beckett has thrown so far in this game. Not too many of them, but looks like this one he finally got the good grip on. Down in the dirt, Varitek has to go down to block it and leave Matsui at second base.
And Holliday leading the majors in hits with 93 so far in the season. He's second in the National League in total bases. The 1-2 pitch. On the ground to Lugo. 2 down. Matsui remains at second base. So 2 outs here in the first inning brings up Todd Helton. 324, 6 homers, and 33 runs batted in for Helton. Drove in a season high 4 RBIs last night. Prior to last night, had 4 RBIs in the previous 27 games. He's been doing more damage RBI wise away from Coors Field. 23 of his 33 RBIs have come on the road. As he takes ball 1 from Beckett. He is 5th in the National League to begin the night in batting average, hitting at .324. And again, the road has been kind. He hits at .342 on the road. Garrett Atkins waits on deck for the Rockies as they bat here in the top of the first inning. Matsui at second base, 2 away. A strike, and it's 1-2.
Another good curveball from Beckett. That's about 3 in a row now. You remember he changed the baseball. Maybe he didn't like the seams on the other one, and He certainly found one that now that breaking ball has been excellent for him.
Back to the breaking ball, and it's lined into center field. Around from second base comes Matsui. He'll score, and the Rockies are on top 1-0. So Helton, who had a 4 RBI night last night, connects here in the first inning to put Colorado on top 1-0.
Excellent 2-out hitter throughout his whole career with men in scoring position. The breaking ball again, and he's right on it. Shoots it right back up the middle, and Helton now with 34 runs batted in. And the Rockies take the lead in this one. Last night they were spraying hits all over this ballpark.
So 2 away, Helton at first, and there's Garrett Atkins, the third baseman. 234, 4 homers, and 24 runs batted in. Drives it to left field, and Manny in shallow wouldn't have mattered. It's up off the wall. Manny plays the carom quickly, and he'll hold Atkins to just the single as Helton moves over to third base. And the wall ball single.
Now Atkins not waiting around. He gets that first fastball from Josh Beckett and plants it off that left field wall. Been struggling 3 for his last 20, but the line shot this time off the wall. Again, Manny playing it quickly off the wall and holding him to first base. The barehanded play and that quick release, and Atkins has to hold it first.
So 2 down, runners at first and third. Josh Beckett getting ready to deal with Brad Hopp, who had a big night here last night, hitting the 3-run home run off Kurt Schilling. It's good for his 9th home run of the year to go along with a 300 batting average and 41 RBIs. It's now 8 first inning runs allowed this season by Josh Beckett in 12 starts. Late that time, and it's 1-1. And the 9 home runs Brad Hopp has. Last night was just the second away from Coors Field. And has really started to pick up the power numbers. 8 home runs in his last 24 games. He had just 1 home run in the first 25 games. Beckett falling behind 2-1. Recently named the National League Player of the Week at the end of May, May 28th through June 3rd week after he had 455. And was the Player of the Week in the National League. Down and in, and it's 3-1. On deck is Spilborghs. To right field, J.D. Drew will make the catch on the sinking liner. A hot shot, but right at Drew. The Rockies get a run. Red Sox coming up. Back at Fenway, the Rockies on top 1-0. They get to Beckett for a run. A lot of pitches from Josh Beckett in the first, 27 of them. And then it's on here to the last half of the first, and a brand new leadoff hitter for the Red Sox. Here's J.D. Drew to get it started.
Jeff Francis making the start. He is 5-5 on the season, the 3.81 ERA. He had a 4-game winning streak stopped last time against the Baltimore Orioles. Has never faced a Red Sox club in his career.
The starting pitcher brought to you by Panasonic. A swing and a miss. The count now to J.D. Drew is 1-2. Starts tonight hitting at .236, 4 homers, and 25 runs batted in. Of all the combinations we've seen at the top of the order, I think this one has surprised me the most, arriving at the ballpark.
Exactly, and especially coming against a left-handed today.
Yeah.
Because Drew has a little history against him, 3 for 7.
Now towards left field, Matt Holliday. He is there to make the catch for out number 1. Let's check out the rest of the Red Sox starting lineup, brought to you by your New England Dodge dealers. As Dustin Pedroia bats second at second base, David Ortiz, designated hitter, Manny Ramirez in left field, Kevin Youkilis at first base, Mike Lowell at third base, Jason Varitek doing the catching, Coco Crisp out in center, and Julio Lugo bats ninth at shortstop. Here's Dustin Pedroia batting in the number 2 spot tonight for the Red Sox.
Francis will feature the fastball, the curveball, and the changeup. Got J.D. Drew on a fastball for that fly ball to left field.
Been very confusing to follow this along as far as who's going to be the leadoff hitter day to day. We came in the other day and Terry Francona saying that he given a great deal of thought. It was time to move Julio Lugo out of there. Going to put Pedroia at the top, and that seemed to be the way they were going to go for a while. And then today before the game, Terry said that they've been giving a lot of thought to having J.D. lead off since last week and now putting him in that spot. So it's been difficult to follow the last couple of days. And, of course, Coco Crisp was in that category yesterday. So back and forth we go here. It's tough to figure it out.
The way he explained it this afternoon to the media, the fact that, J.D. has not been hitting for power, but he does walk a lot. Put him up the top of the lineup to see some pitches. But the main thing I thought was to get Youkilis back behind Ramirez. But it has been an interesting week, and that's what happens when you have trouble scoring runs. You start to shuffle things around. Managers don't like to do that. Sometimes players don't like to do that, but they're just searching right now for the right combination.
Up the middle and into center field for Dustin Pedroia. A 1-out single. Red Sox first base runner of the night.
This is a changeup, it looks like, from Francis, and out on his front foot is Pedroia, but he tops it. One big bounce over the head of the pitcher and into center field for the base hit.
This player profile brought to you by Sovereign Bank, the official bank of the Red Sox cable network. And what a difference for Dustin Pedroia. He's got himself a base hit here in his first at bat tonight. There's David Ortiz. Sits safely in 11 in the last 12 games and at .338. 11 homers, 42 runs batted in. Facing a left-hander tonight. David's 11 home runs have all been off right-handed pitching this season. Does not have a home run off a lefty. Sit at .299 against left-handed pitching. And having to deal with Jeff Francis tonight. On the corner, and it's 1-1. Outside 2-1. Well, Jeff Francis, a first-round draft choice by the Rockies, 9th overall back in 2002. Over his first 2 seasons in the majors, been one of the Rockies' top pitchers. A 14-game winner in 2005, 14 and 12. Last year, 13 and 11. So double figures in wins and in losses as Big Papi gets hit. Second time this season he's been hit by a pitch.
And it's impossible to get out of the way of that. It's directly at your legs. You can't jump over it. You can't go underneath it. And it looks like it gets David just above the knee on the lower thigh.
So first and second, one down. Looks like a new look tonight for Manny Ramirez with the high socks. As he gets ready here. Yeah, he had 289 with 8 homers and 34 runs batted in. One for 3 here last night with an RBI. And he's hitting at .417 over the last 18 games. And 5 of the 8 home runs he has are off left-handed pitchers.
I think back at the Manny's home runs, and you mentioned, he's got 8 total on the season. I can think offhand of about 3 or 4 that probably, under normal conditions, would have been home runs, both here on Fenway and also on the road. So that gave him a total of about, I'd say somewhere in that 12 range, which is still below where he probably would be. But I think once things heat up a little bit, those home runs will start to come in bunches for Ramirez.
You know what Manny will tell you? They'll pop. There's a pitch in there for a strike, and it's 1-2.
I remember a couple here at Fenway. I remember one in Baltimore when we were there early in the season. Very strange, the wind blowing straight in at that ballpark, which it almost never does.
Do you remember in recent history it blowing in like this in the month of June?
No, not for 3 consecutive days like this.
Red Sox trying to answer as the Rockies scored a run in the top of the inning. First and second, one away. And a pitch too far inside that evens the count at 2-2 now to Ramirez. Youkilis waiting on deck, and yet another spot in the Red Sox orders tonight. He bats 5th. Two on, one away. Strike 3. Manny knew it, and it's the first strikeout for Jeff Francis. 2 down.
Yeah, it goes outside against Ramirez. Fastball outside corner, and no argument from Manny. Torrealba set up away, and the pitch is right there in his glove, about knee high.
So 2 on, 2 down, and a chance here for Kevin Youkilis. Kevin hitting at .338 with 8 homers and 33 runs batted in. So, Jerry, you think this is perhaps more the reason that they made the move to have Youkilis in this 5 spot to be a little bit more productive and have JD at the top?
That's what it made. Terry made it sound like. This is one of the key factors for making the move, but it has to do something with Drew too. He's not providing the power or the RBIs out of the 5 spot. And his feeling that both he and Pedroia would see a lot of pitches to the top of the lineup. Plus, we heard that a couple of days ago also,
right,
when you had Pedroia and Youkilis at the top of the lineup. So things change daily. I remember the questions that day too. How long are you going to go with this lineup? It's going to be long term.
How about
one day?
How about tonight, and we'll get another guy tomorrow and another guy after that.
We'll figure out tomorrow's tomorrow.
This one, Carr foul to the backstop. And you wonder, with the lack of offense lately, and you can really date it back to the beginning of the Oakland A's series, as to whether all this tinkering taking place now because of that.
Yeah, I think he was hoping, when they got home, they would get hot here at Fenway Park, and things would fall into place, but it really hasn't been the case.
One and 2 to Kevin Youkilis with Pedroia at second base, Ortiz at first. 2 down here in the first. And Torrealba will head out and talk to Jeff Francis.
It gives a chance to look at the defense for the Rockies, who have first only made 24 errors on the season. Garrett Atkins at third base, Troy Tulowitzki at the shortstop, Kaz Matsui at second, and Todd Helton at first. Left to right, Holiday, Spilboroughs, and Hop, and Torrealba doing the catching for Francis.
Now the 1-2. Nicholas takes ball 2, 2-2. Youkilis strikes out. Francis battles back as he strikes out Ramirez and Youkilis to end the first. Red Sox trail 1-0.
Covidien is a proud sponsor of the Boston Red Sox and the Red Sox Foundation, helping to raise money for life-saving cancer research.
Rockies on top 1-0. Bottom third of their order. Ryan Spilborghs lines out to Pedroia. One pitch, one down in the second. Well, after 27 pitches to get through the first inning, Beckett's got the first out on one pitch here in the second inning, and now we'll deal with Yorvit Torrealba.
We're having Murph's bachelor party. Bring Dono. Tina can do the game. Oh, okay.
Oh,
Is this bachelor party going on right now? I'm going to wait till the lady pops out of the cake. Does that happen at bachelor parties?
I don't know. It's been a while. Yorvit Torrealba. 236, 2 homers, and 20 runs batted in. Did you have a cake at your bachelor party?
Don, I was brought up in the 70s. I have no memory of anything.
All kind of fuzzy. Ball outside, 1-2 to Torrealba. Sits safely in 5 straight games. He was 1 for 4 here last night with a double. And the count evens to him, 2-2. Left side, cut off on the half hop by Lowell, and the throw in time, 2-way. Let's check in for the first time tonight with Tina Cervasio.
Don, we've heard manager Terry Francona a couple of times this season refer to Josh Beckett as being a more mature pitcher this year, and we've seen that as he's demonstrated more control of his emotions on the mound. But when you hear the manager describe his personality, well, it's the same Josh that we saw pitch out here last season.
He's a big, strong, confident, gets his emotions get going sometimes. That's part of what makes him good. He competes, he's loyal to his teammates, and he's really maturing as a player, as a pitcher, and that's fun to watch.
And part of that maturation process could have started way back before spring training started, when John Farrell went out to Texas and had a very intense meeting with Beckett. It lasted several hours. Then when Beckett showed up at spring training, he talked about trusting Tech and also set another goal to throw his secondary pitches for strikes. And you know what? That's what he's been doing since the start of the season.
Okay, Tina, this one grounded back up the middle by Troy Tulowitzki. And it's a 2-out single. Base runner here for the Rockies.
Well, he had a couple of hits in the game last night. Picks up the 2-out base hit here on the fastball.
You know, Jerry, when we first saw when he joined the Red Sox, Josh Beckett, and we saw him in spring training, I wondered if he was going to be able to harness that kind of competitive nature that we've seen in the past for him. A guy who was so riled up, so fired up. And it started right out of the gate, you know, kind of yapping with Ryan Howard in spring training, and almost started a fight during spring training. And we wondered how that would kind of play here and whether or not he'd be able to harness it. He has. And as the year went on, certainly last year we got a better look at him. Did not have a great deal of success last year as far as an ERA standpoint. But he has done it in a big way this year. And while that competitive fire is in him. You don't see it as visibly, perhaps, as we did when we first saw him join the Red Sox.
Well, you know, I like that. I mean, I like the fact that he gets mad. I like the fact that he is a fiery guy. You know, I think that's great. I think all that stuff is good. I think it was just, you know, adjusting to a different league and having confidence in his secondary pitches was the biggest thing. And they've made some, you know, some minor tinkering with his mechanics. But I mean, that attitude that he brings to the park day in and day out, that doesn't bother me at all. I mean, Schilling does the same thing. He brings the same attitude to the mound every time he goes out there. And most successful pitchers do. Nolan Ryan comes to mind. I mean, you got to feel when you're out in the mound that you are better than everybody you're facing. I mean, you just have to feel that way.
Tulowitzki now in scoring position.
You know something too, Don? Hitters can read that too from pitches. You know, there are certain pitches that you used to look out at. You could see the lack of confidence in their face. You could see it in their eyes because you're very close to them, and you can read their face. You can read they're not, you know, feeling good or throwing good.
You can
like
see
a guy,
fear.
You like to, yeah. I mean, if you see a little, you know, anger out there, that's a little bit intimidating.
A little bit of a snarl.
I remember going back to the dugout many times or having players come back to the dugout and saying, we got this guy. We got him now. You know, and they could see it. They could read it in his face.
Well, he deals here with the top of the Rockies order, Willie Taveras, and fly to right first time up. So it's shot foul and a full count now with Tulowitzki at second base.
You know, then there were guys that were intimidating because you couldn't see their face. Guys like Goose Gossage, you know, had his hat pulled down over his head and you couldn't see his eyes, and all of a sudden, bing, here comes this 99-mile-an-hour fastball and a nasty slider at you. I think part of pitching is intimidation.
Strike three call. Strikes out Taveras. First K of the night for Beckett. It's a 1-0 Rockies lead after an inning and a half.
Sunday night at 11:25, turn to Nesson and let Catherine Tappan wrap up your busy sports weekend in just 35 minutes on Sports Desk Lights Out, presented by FW Webb. This Sunday and every Sunday, the weekend isn't over until it's lights out.
1-0 Rockies on top as we head to the last half of the second inning. It's Lowell, Veritek, and Crisp in the inning. As Francis, after getting the first out last inning, gave up a single and hit a batter. And then battled back, striking out Ramirez and Euclid to get out of trouble. Nick Lowell last night getting his first home run in the last 10 games. First home run for him since June 2nd against the Yankees. Francis missing away. Lowell jumps ahead 3-1. Jason Veritek and then Coco Crisp expected here in the bottom of the second inning. Lowell lines it into left field. Well, Holiday back to retrieve it. And then Lowell aboard with a leadoff base hit.
That's a 4-game hitting streak now for Mike Lowell. Was 2 for 4 last night. Gets the fastball from Francis, middle in, and the top spin line drive to left field for the base hit. Lowell with those 48 runs batted in puts him 7th in the American League behind Justin Morneau. Morneau with 50. And of course the leader, A-Rod, with 66. That was before today's game. I don't know how he did in the game today. Had 2 more, so give him a total of 68 now for Rodriguez.
Jason Veritek standing in, getting a chance to bat from the right side with the left-hander going. And Veritek against left-handers hitting at .314. But overall, 270 on the season, 7 homers and 31 runs batted in. The strike, and it's 1-1 now to Veritek. And a chance to face the left-hander tonight, Jeff Francis. Right-handed, the 3 home runs, along with that .314 batting average. Jeff Francis taking the loss last time out against the Orioles, a 7-inning effort which he gave up 4 runs, all earned, and a 4-2 defeat against the Orioles, the only game they lost in that series.
FW Webb is proud to be the official supplier of plumbing, heating, and cooling supplies for the Boston Red Sox. To learn more about how FW Webb can help you, contact your local professional contractor or visit fwweb.com. FW Webb, we've got it.
Lowell has led off with a single here in the bottom of the 2nd inning. Jason Varitek with a count of 2-2. And they climb the ladder on him, going up top. Varitek strikes out. That's 3 Ks for Jeff Francis.
Here's a nominee for this week's Din Trophy Play of the Week. And Coco Crisp on Tuesday night on the Tim Wakefield pitch, charging in, diving, and sliding to make that catch. Tune into the pregame show this Friday to see which play will win this week's Din Trophy Play of the Week.
1 down, Lowell at first base, and here is Coco Crisp, batting 8th tonight in the Red Sox order. So it's a .221 batting average coming in with a home run and 16 runs batted in. Over the last 9 games, just 4 for his last 32. And has gone 1 for 7 so far in the series against the Rockies. Off the end of the bat foul to the right. And the Red Sox have won their last 11 series against National League teams. And tonight the rubber game of this series against the Rockies. The last time the Red Sox lost a series to a National League team, they're going to go back to June 10th through the 12th of 2005 against the Chicago Cubs. And that series at Wrigley Field in Chicago. So it's been a while. Josh Beckett hoping that they can keep this winning series against National League teams going here tonight. Allowed a 1st inning run, and it's the Rockies on top 1-0 right now, with the Red Sox batting in the home half of the 2nd inning. 3-1. Red Sox bullpen last night permitting 6 runs in 4 innings. The 2nd most in a game this season. And allowed to 10 on May 19th against the Braves, which was extremely unusual. Ball 4, and Crisp headed down to first base with the first walk given up by Jeff Francis tonight. So 2nd straight inning with 1 out. The Red Sox have had base runners at 1st and 2nd. Last inning they could do nothing with it. Julio Lugo will be next.
Yeah, last inning, Francis bounced back with a couple of strikeouts to Ramirez and Youkilis.
Strike 1 to Julio Lugo. Lugo just 4 for his last 34 in the last 9 games. 0 for 4 here last night. Off the end of the bat, grounded right side. The first baseman Helton will flip backhanded. Francis can't gather it. And reaching at first is Lugo. The Red Sox will have him loaded.
I would think this will probably go as a base hit for Lugo. Helton goes to the shuffle pass to first base, almost like an option play. Little bobble right there. Then he had to rush to throw. Francis almost made a real nice play covering first base, but couldn't hold on to the baseball.
They've charged Helton with an error at first base.
And that is only his second error of the season.
He's the second highest fielding percentage among active first basemen. Doug Mankiewicz right now is first. So bases loaded, one away. And a chance here for J.D. Drew in his new spot, leading off tonight for the Red Sox, fly to left in his first at bat.
Well, this is more like being in the 5 spot. Here he is hitting with the bases loaded.
Roll at third, Crisp at second, Lugo at first, with one away here in the bottom of the second. He is 1 for 7 with the bases loaded this season. He was quickly down 0-2.
Very good curveball there from Francis. That seems to be his best pitch. Again, a guy that we don't see a lot of, and the curveballs we've seen so far in this game have been very good.
Chop foul.
Now, he may have got away with one there. He left that breaking ball middle in, and you don't want to do that, especially when you're heading the count 0-2. They want to go away, the catcher does, but the breaking ball stays in, and a pretty good pitch to hit. But Drew tops it foul.
Roll at third base, Crisp at second base, and Lugo at first. 1-2 the count. J.D. Drew driving in the winning run on Tuesday in the first game of the series against the Rockies with a sacrifice fly in the 8th inning. He has 8 RBIs in his last 5 games. A chance to cash in right here. Line to the shortstop. Tulowitzki gets up, sees if he can fire anywhere else. He cannot, but big out there and a hot shot from Drew. 2 down.
Yeah, you can't hit the ball any better than that. A line shot and a heck of a play by Tulowitzki, the shortstop. That ball looked like it was headed up the middle. But you see him take a couple of steps to his left. He took 2 steps to his left as that pitch, just before the pitch was going into home plate, and he finds himself in a spot to catch the line drive. And the frustration, you know, you hit a hard line drive with the bases loaded, but there's a man right there to catch it. Right now, if J.D. Drew was on a 20-game hitting streak, that ball would have been up the middle for a base hit. When you're struggling, it finds a glove.
2 down, bases loaded now for Dustin Pedroia. Singled his first time as he lifts one down the left field line, curving foul. Dustin has 1 of 2 Boston hits tonight. He joins Mike Lowell, who had a single to get this inning started. David Ortiz was hit by a pitch first time up, waits on deck. Francis up to 48 pitches through an inning and 2/3. And the bases loaded jam right now, 2 down. Strike over the inside corner, 1-2.
Bases loaded, 2 down. And the count 1-2 to Dustin Pedroia. Swing and a miss. He goes chasing after that. And he is gone as he felt he got a piece of it. Home plate umpire James Hoy says no, and Pedroia is very close here to getting tossed. Strikeout number 4 for Francis, and the Red Sox leave him loaded in the second inning. We played 2-1-0 Rockies.